Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? So you got Talk Football. We are back again with another video. Today, what we're going to be talking about is, of course, Arsenal. Is there an agenda against Arsenal from the media, from the referees, blah, 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 as, of course, we have been seeing some ridiculous takes from the media. Also, we need to speak about, do Arsenal have a problem? Do we have a discipline problem? Do we have a red card problem? Or are we just being refereed differently? Because this is mad. The amount of red cards we've gotten, the different types of red cards that we've gotten, and what's been going on this season. Mikel Arteta has also spoken, and he has said no more red cards. But this has galvanized the team. This is something that we're going to use to push us on. And everyone's talking about set piece FC, unsustainable this. You guys seen Deji on Never a Foul with us the other day with me and you. They're talking all the maddest shit. So we got to get through everything. But before we go any further, please do me a favor, guys. I'm doing this video at an awkward time. It's 4:17 right now in the UK. I need you guys to hit that like button before you do anything else. It helps the channel out massively. And in case you guys are wondering what I'm wearing my Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. Yeah, but yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. Yo, bro, how you doing though? By the way, Hooks, everyone, go check out Hooks' channel. Link is in the description. What you saying, Hooks?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You know, just trying to do my little, YouTube thing, like all you famous man. You know, hopefully one day I'll get there, go into you man's lengths. You get me? But it's been a good week. I mean, obviously, aside from the Bournemouth game, like that was absolute garbage to watch. But you know, we got another game today. You know, we put Bournemouth behind us. We focus on Shakhtar Donetsk. Hopefully we come out, the other end with no more new injuries. And then it's the big game on the weekend. So it's going to be a fun week of football for me. I can't lie.
All right. Let's get straight into it. First things first. People are talking about Arsenal having a problem. And I think the biggest problem we had was probably the lineup. Looking at the lineup originally, I said to myself, we should not have gone with Partey, Rice, Moreno. We should have had more creativity in that team. And also, Arteta subbing off Sterling after the 37th minute. Are we not a good team? Like, why can't we trust Raheem Sterling just for a little bit longer and maybe not adding another defender after 37 minutes? I don't know. I really question Mikel Arteta's decision-making in that game and his lineup. But that was the first issue that I had with the Arsenal team. But talk to me. What do you think?
So, yeah, no, I agree. Like, the lineup, I mean, it's not even the whole lineup, just the midfield. That midfield three was absolutely shambolic. Like, just landed the Giants. Like, he's overly obsessed with being able to duel in games. Like, it's like he's Yugi, bro. Like, it's crazy. But we could have easily, to fix this, we could have not played Partey and played Trossard in the 10, which he's been doing. That's what I found really strange. Or not played Merino and had Trossard in the 10. And then we could have played Jesus on the right and we could have played Sterling on the left. And that would have been fine. I mean, introducing Merino into this midfield I think he played 10 in the game, I think was absolutely diabolical, man. There was no creativity. It was just, I thought I was watching paint dry at times. And then that in-game decisions that, I get onto Arteta about quite a lot is, why did you take off Sterling instead of Trossard? Because look, at the moment that Sterling came off, Bournemouth knew immediately, okay, we don't really have to worry about transition anymore because all of the speed was off the pitch. And then they pretty much just sat in our half for the majority of the game and didn't really feel threatened because we didn't have any speed in behind. So yeah, two very poor decisions from Mikel Arteta.
First of all, also, do you blame Martinelli missing the chance or Leandro Trossard's back pass more, or Saliba? Who do you blame the most for their errors? Because there was a lot of errors. Also, Kivior giving away the second goal. Who do you blame the most in this game?
I blame Martinelli the most because look, the
Martinelli has to make those chances.
Yeah, like that one-on-one. It's not even that it's a one-on-one.
You believe if he scored, we go on to win it?
Exactly. It's that the time of the one-on-one. And look, I think it's an easy one-on-one, especially for someone like Martinelli who's fast. You just drag it past the keeper and then you have an open net. I don't know why he shot it at the keeper. So look, that was the moment because look, going down to 10 men doesn't mean by default you lose the game. You can still win a game while having 10 men. We've done it before. So for me, when you're down to 10 men and it's hard enough already, when you get golden opportunities like that, you've got to be putting it in the back of the net. That's what I expect of players at this level. So I'm on Martinelli for that one. If I'm being honest, I blame Trossard more for the red card than Saliba, because I don't know why Trossard's playing that hospital pass. He could have literally did anything else with the ball, and Saliba doesn't get the red card there. But it is what it is, right? We have to deal with it. You can argue
one person at a time. Do you think Martinelli, we can fix his issues, or do you think he's finished? Because people are after the weekend, people are saying Martinelli is cooked. They're saying he spent his whole international break at Arsenal and couldn't get a start versus Bournemouth, and then when he came on, he couldn't make a one-on-one. That was what people are saying. On top of that, you have people saying Martinelli is just not that good. You have people saying Martinelli is the one person you can single out and criticize for this performance. There's also people just saying Martinelli is not good enough. He needs to be sold. There's people saying Martinelli hasn't had a good game since 2022, 2023 season. That's how deep people are taking it right now. And I think it's a little bit of overreaction and over exaggeration, but he has not been good for about a calendar year. So I can't really say he's had an amazing impact at all for the last year and a half. He needs to fix up, but I'm not going and writing him off. Like, Martinelli needs to fix up, but I still believe we have a player in there. Don't forget, we still have a serious player in there. He just needs to finish and fix up his finishing. What exactly happened to Martinelli? I don't think it's an injury issue. I just think it's a decision-making problem. His decision-making has gotten poor because people figured him out. He always goes for the same type of finish. Let a right foot across the box into the bottom corner, and people found him out. He needs to change it up a little bit. Go near post sometimes. Use your left foot sometimes. But yeah, talk to me.
I think Martinelli's finished as a first-team player.
Finished?
Yeah.
I can't believe it, bro. What? Finished?
As a first-team player at Arsenal, if Arsenal want to be a club that, challenges for the title regularly every season, challenges for the Champions League every season, and with the potentiality of winning it, I don't think Martinelli is good enough. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter, bro. I'll be real.
Finished? Really?
I think he should. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry, yeah, like.
You can't say he's finished. You can't say he's finished.
As a starter, bro, he's done. He's done.
You think Martinelli's done?
As a starter, he's done. At bench option, I'll take him. But as a starter, because what you got to think about as well, it's not just the fact that he's played bad over like a calendar year. I'd say he's been bad since maybe the end of 2023. You have to think as well, Arteta wanted to replace him with Mudryk. Arteta wanted to replace him with Nico Williams. So it's not just me that's thinking he's finished. I think Arteta's come to the realization that Martinelli's just not smart enough to play in the system that he wants to play. And like you said, his decision-making in the box is abysmal. Off the top of my head, I can remember the Wolves game when he should have passed the ball to Declan Rice, but he didn't. He just shot at Human. And I think it was the Aston Villa game when he should have passed to, I think it was Trossard. No, Saka. He should have passed to Saka, squared it to Saka, but he didn't. Like, his decision-making in and around the box is abysmal. Look, I think
his finishing needs to improve, but I'm not saying he's finished. Same way I'm not saying Trossard is a problem either.
I say finished. I do think he has every capability to improve as a player. I'm not saying that, but for like, I have to see those improvements. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't just say, yeah, he has the ability to improve, and then week in, week out, he doesn't improve. And then I can't just back him until the grave. Like the left wing for us is a very important position. Like, and we all know that, let's be honest, across our front three, we don't have the most clinical of players. So we don't really have the luxury of trying to put faith or carry someone who isn't pulling their own weight. Like, and people were telling me Martinelli's back. And then
he scored. I thought he was. He was scoring a lot of goals. I thought he was. But let's go to this quickly. Mikel Merino. everyone's criticizing Mikel Merino, saying this guy doesn't have an ounce of creativity. They're criticizing him heavily. They're saying Mikel Merino was one of the main reasons why we weren't creating as much. He shouldn't have been on the pitch. He's a scapegoat off the back of the performance that he had against Bournemouth. I think people are heavily criticizing him for no goddamn reason. There's people saying Mikel Merino was a waste of money. There's people already on his case. And I think it is harsh to get on his case. And he said something in an interview about the team being a basketball team, being very tall. People also got at him for that, making a negative out of him, talking about the height of the squad. Also, people talking about him struggling to adapt. Bro, he's only had a couple games. It's very toxic, the wave of negativity that Mikel Merino is receiving from the Arsenal fan base. And I think it's way too soon for anybody to be heavily criticizing him. I wouldn't be surprised if in this next game we see Jorginho, Moreno, and Ethan or Declan Rice, one of those guys come into this, two of those guys come into this team to give Partey a rest in the upcoming game. But overall, I think it's just way too soon for people to be hating on Mikel Merino. Talk to me. What do you think?
I agree. Like, don't get me wrong, he played really poor in the game against Bournemouth. But for me, he spent 7 years outside of the Premier League. In those 7 years, the Premier League has changed drastically. Like, the pace of the game is so much faster, the intensity is so much higher. There's the competition, because back when he was playing, Bournemouth was some little dibby team. And now Bournemouth is a team that, you know, can give a hard time to the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. So, look, for me, any player that comes in new from abroad, I give them 5 to 10 Premier League matches or competitive matches to kind of see where they're at. And then after that, I'll judge them. I'm not going to judge him just off of one bad result. I'm not going to say he's done and it's completely game over just because he had a poor game against Bournemouth. And let's be real, he was playing in a role that he's not really familiar with. Like, he was playing the 10. The only time he's played the 10 is with Spain. And how often does he play for Spain? Not that often. So, look, he was being asked to do something different. He himself has been very, open about the fact that he needs to get to a new, tactical level, because the way that he's being coached at Arsenal and the things he's learning at Arsenal is completely and entirely different to what he's experienced before. So there's a learning gap for himself. So, look, I'll give him a run of games. I'll see what happens, but I'm not gonna shoot the guy just yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear it. If you got to answer that, it's cool. Let's go on to the next topic. The next topic I want to discuss is, of course, the red cards. Now, people need to chill a little bit. And when I say people need to chill, they need to chill a lot, because this Arsenal team has had a lot of unlucky situations with red cards and everything else, and the PGMOL having some sort of agenda against us. But the main issue that I have is people talking about the referees. The referees are terrible. We know this. You all know this. Everybody knows this. The referees have a level of inconsistency, and they're continuously making these similar mistakes. But my thing, I'm not going to talk about the red card specifically. I'm going to talk about the unprecedented level of red cards that Arsenal have had. In these games so far this season in the Premier League, bro, we've had 3 red cards. We've had 3 red cards. That means we've had 163 minutes with reds. Compared to the rest of the Premier League, bro, this is the rest of the Premier League. We've had more minutes with reds, I think, than the rest of the Premier League almost. I don't know. Add this up. 60, 80, 100, 120.
They were there.
So, yeah. So it's almost close. I would say probably all of this, if I did the math right now, this would be probably around 200. We got 160. In 3 games, we've had, in a matter of 3 games, bro, we've had, how many red cards? Now, you tell me, are we changing as a team? Because this is a team that had 2 red cards last season. This season, we've had 3. And I have an image of all 3 of them for you guys. There's obviously not the exact image of each, but image of each moment at least. You have the Evan Nelson situation. Yo, do you have to go or something?
No. In about, I posted in the thing, in about 10-15, I need to go open the door. But yeah.
All right. So Evan Nelson, the other day, Declan Rice kicking the ball, and of course, Leandro Trossard kicking the ball. And Mikel Arteta's solution is that he vows that these red cards, the pain from the red cards, will galvanize the team, and of course, that we no more red cards from here. Obviously, we can't have any more red cards. But bro, this is crazy. The amount of red cards that we've had this season is nuts. You can go a whole calendar year without having these many red cards. So my question to you is: do Arsenal have a discipline problem? Because
Yeah.
I don't think we have a discipline problem. I think the referees are refereeing us differently from other teams. And call me crazy, but I do genuinely believe you don't see some of these calls being given against other teams that you do against Arsenal right now. I think you can call me a Looney Tune or whatever, but I have facts and evidence that I'm going to show you in a second. But I just want to hear your take before we move on.
So I do think there is a discipline problem. Like I've looked into it, and this season we've had 20 yellow cards so far and 3 red cards. 18 of those 20 yellow cards has been in the Premier League. So to have played 8 games and have got 18 yellow cards and 3 red cards is like, it can't just only be the refs are like biased against us. Like, the volume of yellow cards we're getting, it can't just be that. Like, we have to look at ourselves. And if you look at the way that we play football now, it's very clear that even the way that we waste time, the way that we take long to take corners, we take long to take free kicks, we delay throw-ins, we delay goal kicks. Like, the way that he's so heavily focused on players being able to win their duels. He wants to battle. He wants to be physical. Players come out and talk about wanting to be physical. Like Havertz, he's enjoying the physical side of the game that he plays at Arsenal now. I think we just play in a way that means that we get more yellow cards. Now, also on the flip side, do I think that there's a lot of scenarios that I see in other games where players should get yellow cards for the same things that Arsenal get yellow cards for? Yeah, I see it happen a lot. But that has nothing to do with what we decide to do in our games that is making us get these cards. Like, it's not always the refs being bad. Don't get me wrong. We know the refs are bad. Like, the refs are dead. We know this. But I can't lie. I'm happy that he said the red cards need to stop, because the fact that he said it needs to stop means that there must be a way for him to stop it, which means part of it must be intentional. It must be part of the game plan. So let's see.
Let me show you this though. This is the amount of red cards since Mikel Arteta has joined Arsenal amongst the top 6. Now you tell me what's the outlier amongst these? Is 17 not the outlier, or would you say 6 is the outlier? Because those are both outliers. I think around 9 to 11 is normal. 17, nearly double everybody else's, is crazy, bro.
Yeah. But that's because of how he plays.
It's not how we play. I can give you examples from these 17 right now that I can call bullshit. David Luiz versus Wolves, bullshit. Granit Xhaka versus Man City when Rodri jumps, bullshit. You got what do you call it? Gabriel Magalhaes versus Man City at the halfway line, bullshit. Gabriel Martinelli double yellow, bullshit. Leandro Trossard this season, Declan Rice this season. If you guys can name more in the chat. I think I just named 6 or 7 that I think were bullshit right off the top of my head.
But the thing is,
that's not a coincidence, bro.
Are they bullshit though? Because I mean, if you look at the Declan Rice one, yeah, it's debatable. But the thing that's not debatable is everybody in the Premier League was told, if you waste time like that, it's a yellow card.
So why isn't everybody else getting the same yellow card, second yellow?
And this is the thing that I say. So I'm not taking away the accountability on Arsenal, because look, in those games we shouldn't have done those things. But the thing I want to know is why I see similar things in other games and cards aren't given.
You know why? Because they're saying, they're determining when it's time wasting based on what the score is.
On what the score is?
They literally said in the most recent game, they're determining when it's not a yellow and when it is a yellow based on what time of the game it is and what the score is. So if Liverpool are leading or they're chasing a game, they're not going to get a second yellow because they're trying to win the game. So they're not time wasting. they're actually just trying to kick the ball into the dangerous area.
It's a bit odd. I haven't seen that, so if that's the explanation that they're giving, I find that a bit odd. But it doesn't change the fact that we shouldn't be wasting time in that. I can't lie. There's sometimes we're taking corners and throw-ins, and I'm like, why are we taking this long? Like it is taking the pee a bit. Like I'll be real. Like it needs to like the way we play must aggravate officials. Like we're not helping our case by
so we have to care what the officials think about us.
I mean, we should care because they're the ones that officiate the game. they're the ones that give out the yellows and the reds, bro. Like those are definitely the people that we don't want to antagonize in a game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so do you think Howard Webb and these guys have an agenda against us? Because Howard Webb being at the game and him coincidentally being on his phone when the incident's going on, it is kind of dodgy, bro. It is kind of dodgy.
But we don't know who he's talking to.
I know, but it is still kind of dodgy. Like I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence?
It could be.
Is it a coincidence that Howard Webb is at the game? And also, you know what's even more crazy? They're doing gymnastics online. Did you see stuff like this? This is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that was ridiculous for me.
They're looking at they're doing speedometers on players to see if they believe that player could catch up to the other player. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? These kind of incidents make me genuinely believe there is an agenda against Arsenal.
In the mainstream media, maybe so. Because this was a bit weird because this doesn't take into consideration Evan Nilsson needs to first control the ball because he didn't actually have control of the ball. It was bobbling. It also doesn't take into consideration that that's Evan Nilsson's top speed without the ball. He's not going to be hitting them speeds while dribbling with the ball. So it was a bit cheeky of them to try and use that as like a kind of evidence as to why Ben White wouldn't catch Evan Nilsson. So yeah, I mean, I'll give you that one. But all the like Web on the phone and stuff, like I just think Arsenal fans need to stop doing that shit, man, because it's a bit.
Let me show you some stuff because there's a bunch of underlining numbers and everything that will show you some things. But here's what I first want to show you. This is the situation with Tosin. Colwell was here. Tosin is here. Saliba's here. Ben White is here. In the frame line to get to the goal, Ben White actually can cut the angle easier as he is in line almost in line with the defender, where Colwell is behind them. So if the player gets the ball, he's less likely to get the ball.
Yeah.
Than Ben White. But yet they're saying the trajectory of the ball, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you actually look at the trajectory of the ball in the two situations, the ball in this situation is around here. The ball in this situation is already gone.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So who's more likely to get the ball?
He has to run out wide to get the ball before coming inside, whereas Ben White can just run back towards the goal. So yeah, I do hear it.
So how are they giving? These are the kind of things that make me really, really question this. And I have another example here. Here's another diagram, bro. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. How do they say this is not a goal scoring opportunity for that player because Tosin is closer to the halfway line and Colwell is there, but Ben White and Saliba are in line? Excuse me, who has to cover more ground to recover?
Yeah, no, it's true. It is true. But I mean, it is what it is now, right? And I think Arsenal have said that they're not going to appeal the red card. Well, at least I've seen it reported by a few people saying
Sky Sports said Arsenal are not going to appeal the red card, and I think it's the right decision because we don't have grounds to say 100% we're going to get it overturned. Because if we did appeal it and it didn't get overturned, then that's going to be more games where he's going to be out potentially. And what's the grounds for us to appeal it and get it overturned anyways?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, pretty much.
Are we going to get it overturned if we did appeal it?
Yeah, 100% we wouldn't. And I think partly the club knows that anyway. So that's probably why the club isn't going to appeal it. But I do think that there may be a chance that Arsenal may try and take legal action against the Premier League for what's been happening in terms of the standards dropping in the league, because Arsenal are held to such high standards, but them same standards aren't really applied across the board, especially for other big six teams. So yeah, I guess we have to.
We're gonna have to wait and see. There's also one more thing. People saying set piece FC. Set piece FC. Arsenal doesn't create chances. Arsenal is relying on the corners. Arsenal this and that. I know you gotta go soon, bro. You're still good, right?
Yeah, and I'm still good. I'm still good.
All right. So then there's everyone's talking about set pieces, set pieces, set pieces, set pieces, right? So look at this. Coincidentally, Arsenal is up there with Chelsea and Liverpool right now.
But those big chances, are they from open play, or is it just big chances?
It's just throughout the game.
So these can include like corners, right?
Yeah, it can include anything.
Oh, cool.
But
so
still,
that's pretty interesting to see, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, people talking about Arsenal having people saying Arsenal being unsustainable football. Well, does this look unsustainable to you, bro? What you're looking at right now is XG conceded to XG4. Arsenal have the lowest XG conceded in the Premier League and the highest XG4 in the Premier League. So you know what that tells me? That tells me we don't concede too many chances, but we also miss a lot of our own chances as we are doing that. So this is just another example to show you that we are not as bad as people say we are. They need to chill.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, watching the games, yeah, man, we've looked so poor at times. Like, our build-up has been so slow. Like, we don't even really transition. Like, we allow.
I know, but you have to factor in. You have to factor in the level of the opponents that we've been facing and the situations we've been in. Bro, it's 8 games into the season. We've been with 10 men 3 times. We've also gone to Aston Villa away, Man City away, and Tottenham away. None of these games are really like give me's. They're not really like games where we should be blowing the team out, smashing them 7-0. Like the team that we should have done that against was Leicester, and the goalkeeper stood on his goddamn head. So I'm not really hearing this unsustainable, the football's been poor. Yeah, bro, it's not been amazing. But do you expect it to be amazing versus Man City, Aston Villa, Tottenham away when you're down to 10 men versus Brighton and Bournemouth? No. In the grand scheme of it, we've not had a normal game besides the first game of the season and the one against Leicester. Those have been the only 2 normal games. And even in the Leicester game, the goalkeeper had the best save percentage since David De Gea against Arsenal in 2016. So even that game was not normal. And the first game of the season is the first game of the season. So besides the first game of the season, we've not had anything normal. Also, I haven't even mentioned Odegaard being injured. I haven't even mentioned Saka being injured. Like,
I hear it. I do hear it, but like
people need to relax.
Don't you think it's a bit worrying that? And don't get me wrong, I know that we got the red card against Bournemouth, but I still think even with the red card, we should be beating Bournemouth. Don't you think it's a bit worrying that Saka and Odegaard are not in the team, and we just look so devoid of being able to actually create anything?
Bro, one second. The first 30 minutes of that game, Bournemouth had nothing.
But neither did we.
We did, though.
We had like 1 shot on target.
But still, it's 30 minutes into the game. You're not going to... if you look at the actual flow chart before the red card, majority of the threat came from Arsenal. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This was Arsenal before the red card. Majority of the threat was from us. We had majority of the possession in our end, and we caused no threat. They caused no threat, minimal threat. But then the moment the red card came, you can see the fixtures swing. And people are going to say field tilt, this stuff doesn't mean nothing. You can clearly see when the game changed. You can clearly see when they took control of the game. And by the time they scored the second goal, they just sat back. And we tried to go for it. Really and truly, it's down to Mikel Merino substitutions. But before we were down to 10 men, I still believe we had enough in that game to win the game.
So so do I, because we had the opportunity to win the game. But but we didn't
Even
do it.
with 10 men.
And that, yeah, even exactly. But that's the worry. So for me, there's a few worrying things. So why did we not take the lead when we had 11 men? Because we had the majority of the ball. The flow chart even shows that, right? So why wasn't we able to create something that we could put in the back of the net in those first 29 minutes? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, why is it when we go down to 10 men, because this happens quite a lot, when we go down to 10 men out of possession, we're really good, but in possession it's like we become worse footballers, like each and every time, like this, we can't even string together like 2-3 passes without losing the ball, and I just don't understand it.
I think the main thing is we're not playing a creative midfielder or creative 10 to help us with those simple things like driving the ball forward, keeping possession, making it easy to dictate play left, right. If we were to keep Martin Odegaard fit and he was in this game, we would not be seeing that issue. If we played Leandro Trossard in the 10 in that game, we would not be seeing that issue. And if we played, what do you call it? What's it called? Ethan Waneri, I think we wouldn't see those issues. We played too much of a defensive midfield, and we need to have more bravery in that midfield. Mikel Arteta needs to be a little bit more brave. But overall, I think the underlying numbers tell you that we're not in a bad situation. We're still in and amongst the pack, and I still believe we're one of the best teams in this league. It's just we've been slightly unfortunate with red cards. You need as much as people don't want to hear it, that is true. We've also been slightly unfortunate with the toughness in the fixtures, but yet we're still in and amongst the pack. We beat Liverpool this weekend. We're 1 point away from them. It's not the end of the world. I think people really, really, really went too far with all the conversations and everything else. But yeah, let's see what some of you people in the comment section are saying, as a lot of you guys in the comment section probably disagree with me. But do me a favor, please do hit that like button right now. So yeah, the red cards give Mikel Arteta excuse to do what he knows, park the bus. I disagree with that. He shouldn't have parked the bus. He should have still tried to go for it a little bit more. If it happens the other way around, you'd have no problem. That's true. That's true. If the other teams got red cards, we wouldn't have a problem at all. And people would be saying you're getting lucky because the other team got red cards. Igal playing the victim, he said he was only asking what? Igal's playing the victim, yet he only was only asking on Hussam channel. What are you talking about?
Only asking what?
What am I asking? Focus on your own team's mistakes happening regarding all clubs. Okay, so you tell me when you've seen other clubs get players sent off for second yellows where they kick the ball away. I've not seen that. Also, you tell me which team in the Premier League right now would be without their two best players and their best defender getting sent off after 10 men and going down to 10 men, playing the whole game down to 10 men and would win. I think majority of teams in the circumstances that we were in against Bournemouth would probably lose. And also, finally, with all that being said, Mikel Arteta said it today. It's been 6 months since we last lost a game. 6 months. People need to chill.
But the reason why I think people are taking it a bit overboard is because of what they're seeing when they're watching Arsenal.
I know, but it's been 6 months, bro. 6 months we haven't lost a game. And the reaction, you would think we're getting battered every week.
Yeah. No,
there needs to be some context. There seems to be no context behind this.
That's
and
fair.
You got people saying, what a disgrace. Yeah. It was 4 months ago since you lost to Villa. We're talking about away from home, you idiots.
Yeah.
When was the last time we lost to away from home? We haven't lost away from home since last year, bro.
Wait, that April 14th, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Wait, so he's right then, because that's 6 months.
Yeah, Arteta's right. This guy's saying it's 4 months.
Yeah, I mean it's 6 months from April, so because we're in October.
He's saying the 3 to 2 months in the summer you're inactive, so that doesn't count.
Okay.
What a fucking imbecile. But yeah, I do think there needs to be some context. Arsenal have only had one defeat in 6 months. We haven't had a loss since that Aston Villa game. And yes, I know we haven't won the league, but bro, people are really, really on the case of these guys too much. Hopefully Martin Odegaard and Saka come back soon. Let me just check if we can get if we can get a quick little update. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Shakhtar and we're gonna end it off, bro. Talk to me. What do you think about the Shakhtar game? What lineup you going?
This is the game we have to bounce back. This is the game where
it's a completely different tournament.
Yeah, but we Arsenal fans, we deserve to see proper football. Like, you know, the football that we were seeing at the latter part of last season.
One second, I need to check on this kid, man.
That's cool, man. We need to see great football. We need to see attacking play.
Tell me if you agree with this lineup.
We need to see domination. Merino, so Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice, Merino, Trossard, Havertz, Sterling, Jesus. No, because for one, whoever's going to be replacing Saliba against Liverpool needs to play today with Gabriel so they can start forming a partnership. Throwing in a tried and untested centre-back partnership against Liverpool would be complete suicide.
I think they're disrespecting Shakhtar. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, for me, yeah, Shakhtar is a team that has not scored a goal in the Champions League. Shakhtar should not be coming to Arsenal and causing us a threat. We need to think more about how we are preparing for Liverpool. And unless you're telling me Yuri and Timber is going to be the right centre-back, then cool, because he can't play, because he hasn't been training. So that's the only occasion that I'll be like, all right, cool, I'll allow it. But if it's not Timber who's going to play there, whoever is going to play there has to play there today, because sending Gabriel in with a new centre-back who they haven't played a minute of football together in those positions would be suicide versus Liverpool are top of the league. Let's remember that. And then
who are you playing?
So for me, see, it's hard because we don't really have many options. But for me, I would potentially put Ben White there, but then who plays right back? See, right now off the cuff, it's hard to think, but I would maybe even potentially put Calafiori there. And then
versus Liverpool.
Versus Liverpool. No, for me, versus Liverpool, my choice would be Timber in right centre back.
So right now, this game, we don't have to worry about Saliba being suspended. So we're going to go the same back four, just Ben White. Rice is going to play, but I would go with an attacking four. I agree with the attacking side of things, but Havertz has to play the 9, Trossard play the 10, right? Or you play Ethan. Either Trossard plays the 10 or you play Ethan. Either way, Raheem Sterling is going to be on the right, and on the left, I start Martinelli. The only thing I make a change from this team is I take out Jesus and I put in Martinelli, swap Havertz and Jesus, and put Trossard on the in the middle instead of Martinelli. So it's going to be Martinelli here, Trossard here, Havertz here. Everything else is the same, unless you want to change Mikel Merino for Jorginho or something. I'm not. If you don't start Ethan, then you need to play an attacking 10.
Yeah, I agree. I would make it, because it's Europe. I would maybe even consider putting Jesus on the left and putting Trossard in the 9, and then having Havertz in the 10. If you're not playing Ethan, but if you're playing Ethan, then I would put Havertz in the 9, Ethan in the 10, Martinelli on the left, or Jesus, and then Sterling on the right.
All right, let me show everybody once. Jesus' performances in the UCL recently. Jesus' performances overall have been terrible.
Yeah,
I'm starting Saliba though in this game because he's not playing versus Liverpool. So yeah, Reyes in goal, Ben White, Saliba. So the back line is pretty straightforward. We already know.
Just to ask you, I want to ask you a question. Yeah. Do you think Shakhtar Donetsk? Yeah.
They're terrible.
Do you think it's a game where you could give Neto some minutes?
No, you don't want to go mad
because he can't play in the Carabao Cup. So I'm just thinking, when do we give him minutes?
You give him minutes when he's not cup tied and we can play him in the FA Cup.
So you would only use Neto in the FA Cup this season?
You only use him in the FA Cup or when we need to. For now, just throw in Raya.
Cool.
I'm okay with that. I don't think we need to do anything else. But yeah, who do we put in the other midfield position?
I would go Merino and Rice, personally. I think Partey needs the rest.
Yeah. You know, people, there's a big Partey like group of fans that are like so protective of him. If you say anything negative about him, you get criticized like crazy. It happened to me one time. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I think
These
he's been
people
one
are
of our best players this season.
these people are trying to cancel me for criticizing him. It was crazy. I just think he's overrated, bro. Because people call him like people consider him like the best DM, the best this, the best that. He's never available, and when he is available, there's a lot of shaky performances. He's not this undroppable,
He's the
amazing.
best DM at our club. Like,
No, I don't think he's the best midfielder at our club.
He's the best DM at our club. He's the best 6 at our club by leaps and bounds.
You think he's better than Declan Rice?
In the 6, 100%. He's the only player that we have, barring Jorginho, who Jorginho's not even better than Partey at, is playing line breaking passes from different.
I'll give you that. Yeah, he's really good at playing line breaking passes. I still rate him. Don't get me wrong. I just think the way certain people speak about him, you think he was the savior, but he's one of the main reasons why we drop off at the end of seasons at times, because he's always he's always inconsistent with his injuries, not his performances. His performances are good when he gets up and going. It's just he's always injured.
He's been pretty injury free this season though so far. So you know
he's proving me wrong right now. But hey, hopefully he can keep it up. You know what? People are just gonna call me a Partey hater, but it is what it is. I can't change my mind on him. This is the lineup we've gone with.
Do you know what? Actually, do you know what? Yeah, part of me wants to rest Havertz. You know.
Nah, bro. No Odegaard, no Saka. We need that extra guy that's familiar.
I need him fresh for Liverpool, though, man.
I know, but it's Shakhtar. We can slap them up 3-0 and then take him off.
Fair.
So that's the lineup. Anyone disagree with the lineup? Let me know.
So it's not disagree, but you know me. I just really want Ethan to start games in it. So just for me, Ethan in the 10. Whatever else you do, I agree with literally virtually everything, barring Saliba. But outside of that, I pretty much agree with this team. Put it this way: if that's the team he played, I wouldn't be unhappy.
He's gonna play a strong team, but what's your score prediction?
I think we win 4-0. 3-4-0. I think we win
4-0.
3-4.
I need to learn a little bit more about Shakhtar. I don't know enough about them, but I seen that they played Bologna. They drew 0-0, and then they played the same Atlanta team we played, and they lost 3-0. So if Atlanta can beat them 3-0, I think we can beat them by 3-0 also. But my overall score prediction is going to be exactly that, 3-0 to the Arsenal. And maybe this is the kind of game where we see we could see, what do you call it, some second half changes for our team early. We can get a scoreline up. And by the way, we've played Shakhtar a couple times head to head. We've played Shakhtar a couple times head to head. Every time we've gone away, we've lost. Every time they've come to our ground, they've lost. So I expect a win.
I think the last time we played them, we beat them 5-1, something like that.
No, the last time we played them, they beat us 2-1.
I mean, at home. At home, it was 5-1, and at home 3-2 in 2000 also. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. It was a quick little discussion. Iga, how the hell is falling off Partey's fault? Have some respect. He's way better than Rice. Fact. Okay.
We'll see. I think Thomas Partey and Rice, they're different types of players, but I prefer certain Rice. Anyways, it is what it is. I like new players better than old players, but I think it's maybe just the fact that I've had Thomas Partey in my team for so many years, and he's always got injured. But the main issue I have with Thomas Partey is his injury issues. If he can stay fit for a whole season, I don't doubt that he's going to be a mainstay in the team. But yeah, I do think when Mikel Merino, Odegaard, and Rice play, that might be our best midfield though going forward. If we can get some balance in that midfield. But hey, do you ever think Partey is going to drop Rice or Merino?
I think the natural progression would be for Merino to take Partey's role in the midfield. Well, I mean, not role, but like Partey will eventually be moved out and Merino will become a mainstay. But I don't think we just throw him out in the foreseeable future, I'll be honest.
But hey, what are you going to do? People online are still going to say Arteta out because we lost the game versus Bournemouth with no context, and people are going to still chat shit about the red cards. It is what it is. We're out of here, people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. Catch you guys in the next one. Love for the love. I'm going to do a post-match reaction after the game, straight after the game. If you want to jump on hooked, you can jump on. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.